Millard Roper. I'm the owner of the Funky Home, and I'm here today we're going to talk about headstand. And not only are we going to talk about headstand, we're going to talk about the safety of headstand. How safe is it as a pose? What can we do to make it safer? If you're cervically injured, meaning your cervical spine has herniations or you have pain up there, what can you do with the pose? Meaning, should you do it? How can you modify it? And what are the steps to really take to go about it in a safe way? Okay, so Shirshasana. Shirshasana is the head. Asana is the pose or seat asana. So you have you should have a basic understanding of the anatomy. When we did anatomy on the cervical spine, you can check that video out, and I'll do a little brief overview of that here, where you have the spine, and the lumbar spine is very thick, and the cervical spine is quite dainty in comparison to the lumbar. The lumbar is thick like that because over time we have stood upright, and this has had to respond by getting stronger. The cervical spine only has to really deal with holding my head. So it has 8 pounds of weight. This has my entire torso bearing down on it, and the 8 pounds of my head. So it bears a significant amount of weight. This is why the most common herniation is L4, L5. So when we go into headstand, I turn that upside down, and now all of the weight of my pelvis, my legs, everything is now on my dainty cervical spine, which is not equipped to handle it. So when you are new to headstand and you're trying to figure out how to do it, this is the problem. It's not the person who's basically been around the yoga block and you know how to pike up into a headstand. That's a different person, right? You have a different skill set, you understand it. It's when you're learning it, and you might be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you already have a pre-existing problem in the neck, that this becomes really problematic. So my advice to people who have cervical injuries is to bypass headstand and just learn how to do forearm balance if you want to invert. Forearm balance, there is no pressure on your cervical spine. Your head is totally off the floor. So one of my teachers on the forest, she says, headstand is not a bad pose, but you should be able to do forearm balance. This way, you can lift your head off the floor at any moment, and you'll be good. The reason why people like headstand so much is because that extra point of contact on the floor really gives you a good base. So, and then all of a sudden inversions become much easier. So the reason why I'm taking off my sweatshirt is so you can see my back muscles. So when I come here and I set up for headstand, I want to engage my chest. So my hands are interlaced here, and I'm going to push my forearms into the floor, and I dome out my back a little bit. Now, here I can then put my head in that spot. But what you will see is you could slide a piece of paper underneath my head. It's really not on the floor. I'm not driving my weight into my head, which is going to compress my cervical spine. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing, creating a good framework with my chest muscles, my scalenes. Here, push, lift it. Now, I open up my hands, and now I can walk my feet in. When I walk my feet in, now I bring one foot in, and then I put it down. And then I bring the other foot in, and I put it down. Now, I'm not like this. I'm lifted, right? And I start to play around. Okay? So that's stage one. I got to get to a place where I am activated through my chest and creating a good framework so my head doesn't compress down into the floor. Once I do that for a little bit, I would give that a month. Then, when I come in, I flex the chest, push the forearms into the floor, open up my hands. Here we go. I walk the feet in. Now I can bend, and now I can bend and lift. And I breathe. Now again, there was no weight in my cervical spine. None. It was all here. Once I can do that, then my legs can go up. So once I'm here, again, I frame, push, walk it in, bend, here. Now I can lift. Now I come out, slow. I fell. So when you come out, you want to come out with control and not just plop down. So stage one, I walk in, and you can see my hips are getting closer to my shoulders. Now I bend, and then I bring this one down, and then I bring the other one. The whole time, I'm pushing and flexing. That's the most important part. So now stage two, here, push, open, walk, 1, 2. This is stage two. When I'm ready, I come down. Now with stage three, I push, okay, so be safe, work the wrapping of the shoulders, create a good framework for your cervical spine. If you feel yourself, you have to use your mind and go, am I dumping all of my weight into my cervical spine when you're up there? And if you are, get out of there. Come down, take a child's pose, reset, and practice again. I'm not a big fan of kicking up to the wall because then you're using momentum. And when you kick up to the wall, you're overshooting. So if you were in the center of the room, you just fell over because you overshoot. You need to do this with control. I kick up with handstand and forearm balance, totally. But with headstand, get comfortable in that dolphin type of position. Hope that helps. If you're in a position to donate, please do so. Please hit subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment. It really does a lot. So, hope to see you on the mat.